Hey guys, Sean Bougie, surplusfundsriches.net. There's a bunch of myths out there concerning surplus funds, aka excess proceeds, also known as overages, tax or mortgage overages. There's a lot of myths out there, guys. One of them is, well, the foreclosure kicked out all the other debt against the property, so you don't have to check that. The ex-owner's entitled to it, period. The end. No, if there was a lien or a judgment against that property, or that person recorded in the same county as where the house is located prior to the sale, that has a priority claim. IRS tax liens, state income tax liens, any kind of a judgment that was any kind of a judgment that was against the individual, and of course mortgages, liens, equity lines, and all of that. They have a priority claim. So the second part to that myth is people say, well, okay, it was kicked out against the house, but it still stays and has a priority claim against the surplus. But Sean, if you make a claim, this is what they tell me. If you make a claim, this is somebody, by the way, who's seen stuff online and that's it, never made a claim in their life. Okay, we've been doing this 15 years, 20,000 plus files worked. I think we might have a little more of an understanding than the base population out there. Here's the second part of that myth. People will say, yeah, but if you go to claim it, and nobody shows up, well, then you get it. If they don't show up, they forfeit their right to the surplus. No, they have a priority claim to the surplus in front of the ex owner, period, at the end. Now, if a judgment has expired since that foreclosure and that judgment holder never made a claim against it, an argument can be made for that. Okay. Taxes have a bad and insidious way of being able to make claims beyond their initial lien date. They can also back it up prior to. So our tax lien, for instance, that goes on January 2nd and the property was foreclosed on January the 1st, that debt technically was not against the person prior to the sale, right? Well, yeah, but then they could say, oh, by the way, this was from 4 quarters ago. So they can kind of predate their liens. The IRS and the state income tax liens have that ability. And so those are the biggest ones. Hey, you've got to research debt, guys. You can't get around it. Stop with that. The second one is a lot of people think you can call the court and say, hey, man, how much debt was against the property? Was there additional debt against the person or the property? Well, first of all, that is not their job. The Register of Deeds Department, or also known as the Land Records Department, the folks that actually record deeds and deeds of trust, mortgages, those guys, first of all, they don't make mistakes. Typically, they don't make a mistake. Secondly, they're going to tell you there's no debt against the person or the property because they think what you're asking is there debt that is going to somehow survive, that has somehow survived the foreclosure? They're going to say, no, it's free and clear. There wasn't any other debt. You're good. That's because they don't understand that you're asking about surplus funds claims. And even if they did, there's like three guys in the court that understand the process involved with this. Guys, it's not their job to do title work. That's the main myth involves debt and its ability to have a priority claim and whether or not them not showing actually kicks out their claim. That's the main myth. Some other ones are that you can reach people very easily using Facebook, DMing people, that type of thing. It just doesn't happen, guys. You've got to use a good skip tracing system. And finally, one of the biggest myths is you're going to get paid in a matter of weeks. It's going to take you mailings and calls for probably at least 2 weeks for them to answer the phone or return a call to you. They've got to see that you're real. They've got to see a need to call you back. At that point, it's going to take a week just to get them under contract, get a mobile notary in front of them, get it signed, and get it back. We use overnight to get it back. At that point, we recommend you always use an attorney, give it to an attorney, and let them handle it from there. We get questions a lot. We teach you to always use an attorney. We get questions a lot where people say, hey, I'm not going to use an attorney, so what forms do I need? That's why we use an attorney. Why would I want to navigate that maze when I can hire an attorney and let him handle that, have the extra credibility with having an attorney and all that? You got to do title work. You got to check debt. There's no shortcut to that. You really need to use an attorney if you're going to be a pro in this business. You need to put the time, energy, and work in, guys. You can't find people using free systems online effectively and consistently. And you're not going to make money in a couple of weeks. Even when the court grants your claim, it's going to take them weeks and possibly a couple of months to actually send the check out. You're not going to get rich quick. You've got to put in the time and energy. And there is about a 3 or 4 month wait on average from when you first research your deal to getting paid.